All right, good people, let's talk about it. So I know I'm pretty sure I went over this topic uh, before. However, uh, I do find that I have a lot of more subscribers now than I had perhaps when I discussed this topic in the past. So because of some comments that I recently received, I think I need to maybe review this topic. And that's like, um, you come into the Philippines and you want to know what to expect. Okay. So I'm going to make this real short and sweet. Um, what you can expect is an outcome of the preparations that you've put in. That's what you can expect, basically. So if you made all the proper preparations, meaning that you've got yourself a list of options, you've created a travel plan, where you intend to go, where you intend to stay. Are you going to have meals at the hotel? Are you going to eat street food? You're going to go to the restaurants. So uh, just to note that if you eat street food, uh, you need to use common sense and make sure that the vendor's location is clean and what you're buying is handled by a person that appears to be clean and sanitary. Otherwise, you can find very, very good street food, and/or you can become very ill real quick. Okay, one or the other. Okay, but street food vendors would be very economical for a stay for someone in the Philippines who's traveling, and you don't like want to sit down in a restaurant and pay 1,000 plus pesos, uh, 200, 300. You just want to grab something, eat, and keep it moving all day long. Well, street vendors are perfect for that. Okay, now. Your itinerary, what it is that you plan to do, where do you plan to go, where do you plan to stay. You have to make those plans ahead of time. Who you're going to meet, if you're going to stay with them, if they're going to stay with you, if you decide that you're staying with someone or you're meeting someone, that relationship is toxic, is not for you, and what you're going to do to get out of the situation. So all of this you need to plan ahead of time. You shouldn't just face it like at the moment, because it can kind of ruin your trip. So plan it ahead of time. Like, this is what I'm going to do in the event that the person that I meet is someone that I just can't tolerate. I can't stand them. And so I want to move on. So you need to plan that ahead of time. Uh, one word of advice: don't get someone to come and meet you in another city and then you decide that you don't want to be around them and you abandon them in that city. Don't do that. That's big problems. If you bring them out of their hometown, you got to get them back to their hometown before you vacate. You can't leave them somewhere and they don't have a way to get back. You'll be in big trouble. Okay. So, preparations. What you're going to get out of the trip is your preparations. Whatever you prepared for, then if you made good preparations, that means you're going to get that plus. Okay. Because things are going to enter into your realm of life that you probably didn't anticipate, and it's going to be adventurous. Okay. Like I said, 85% of American people have not been on a plane. So if they haven't been on a plane, they 85% of them have never left the country. And if you leave the country, you're in an adventure, especially if you come here to the Philippines. Okay. So here we go. The other point I want to mention to you is the female. Okay. When you meet the female, I'm going to tell you it's very few cases whereas unless the female was just someone maybe that was on meth, or she was just like, a bad person, and somehow or another you really didn't see that while you were communicating with her, you're going to have a fair to decent experience with her. you know it's only that once you get to know her, if there are some things about her that you don't like, will the relationship tarnish. But in the beginning, when you first meet her, if you're respectable, decent, clean, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna enjoy the time that you spend with her, because there's no question, there's no doubt that the Filipino people are entertaining, charismatic, caring, and they're very, very, very fun people to be around. Okay, especially the Filipina. Um, she's going to be a fun companion. She's going to help you in your travels. She's going to help. She's going to assist you in all kind of ways. What's good, what's not good. So you're going to have a good time. But however, if you happen to get one that's on some dun 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 shit, then you need to be ready to deal with that. Because I'm gonna tell you that when you land in a big city, you can easily get a girl that's on some dun 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 shit. Because basically they are in the city to make money. Okay. Whether they got a job or they there living in a boarding house, and they primarily go to scamming foreigners. So they are out there, and they're out there in numbers. Since the pandemic, they're out there in numbers because uh, they have become aware of the advantages of scamming foreigners. And the reason why I say scamming foreigners and not just taking advantage of foreigners is because this is their method and operation, and their intentions and their purpose is to get something out of you for as little as they can give, and for nothing if they can get it for nothing. Okay. So I call that a scam. Transactional relationship is where both parties have come together, and the meaning of the mind is that, you know, I'm going to give, you're going to get, you understand? And I'm going to receive, and you're going to receive. So both of you are giving and getting, you see. But when you got a relationship, whereas the only person is trying to receive and you're giving, that's not a transactional relationship. That's a scam. So once again, you have to have, 10 toes down. You got to be on your toes. You got to be ready to deal with situations. And the main thing is take your time. Don't overreact. You see, don't overreact. You have to make sure that this is what's going on, that this is a scam. You have to be sure. For instance, if the girl that you're going to meet, she shows up with three, four, or more family members, they come to your room, and then they're insisting on going somewhere to eat. Well, you're fixing to be scammed, because she's bringing them there for you to feed them and entertain them. Okay. And they may be family members, they may not be. They may just be friends that's there and coming to get something to eat on your dime. And she is the one that's going to convince you to what? Pay for it. So that's why I say you have to be on your toes. Okay. Because that will happen. Or you get a Filipina, she says, well, my family's at the restaurant. Let's go to this restaurant. Well, If you didn't set that up in the beginning to meet her and her family at a particular restaurant that she has chosen, excuse my cough, that she has chosen, I strongly suggest you don't do it. I should strongly suggest you buy out of that, you know, because how you started, that's the way it's going. And it ain't like, okay, well, I'm going to just go here and then I'm going to have my way. No, it's going to continue, you know. Uh, that type of mentality is going to continue until she reaches a point that she's satisfied with what she's gotten and she's gone, and or you don't give her what she wants and she concedes to just you and her, or she books. Because remember, just like she booked the time with you, she probably got a slot booked for somebody else the same day or the next day or a couple of days later. So she's not going to waste time with you and she's not getting nothing. She'd rather go home, okay? Unless she's truly interested in being involved with you, okay? So once again, when you come, take your time. Don't jump into nothing. I don't care what they say. I don't care what their religious beliefs are. It don't matter. It don't matter. Because why is it that it don't matter? Because you're putting yourself in a position for a long time hassle of trouble that you couldn't begin to imagine the type of trouble and difficulty that it will set you up in. Okay? You can get involved. This one female, she can put you in so many different situations that you're totally unaware of. And it'll be years down the line before you really find out, you know, what? That all the time, from the first phone call, from the first text message, you were being manipulated. And if you Google women who are the most manipulative women, and the ones that are the best manipulators, the ones that are the hardest to discover that they're manipulating you, you will discover that I know on Google is going to say it's the Filipina. She is the most keenest of manipulators. And it comes from their years of occupation by foreigners. And that information has passed through generations on what? How to manipulate. And basically, for some, it has become their way of life that um, they manipulate to get what it is that they want. And they can so well disguise it until, unless you're very familiar with that particular technique of manipulation, you wouldn't discover it. You wouldn't recognize it until what? It was too late. But if you take your time, if you don't jump into nothing, if you go slow, anyone that's trying to manipulate will be discovered. Their efforts will be discovered. Their efforts will come to light. Okay. But you got to take your time. You can't be in a rush to do anything. And one philosophy that I had for a long time, was that anything that says you got to do this right now, or you need to do this ASAP, or the consequences is not going to be to your advantage if you don't do this right now. Well, the best thing for you to do is let that go. Decide not to do it. Even if you really want to do it, you can afford to do it, you want to do it, let it go. Because the panic button, that they're putting in front of you is nothing more than a technique of manipulation. But you don't know why it is that they're manipulating or trying to manipulate you. You don't know. You see, you don't know what they're trying to get you caught up in. So the best thing to do is when you're given an ultimatum as if you have to do this now. We need to it would be best we do this right now. Don't wait. Bag out, say no, I'm not going to do it. Just flat out withdraw. Say nope, I'm not doing that. Let's talk about something else. Let's do something else. And if they are persistent, insistent that this is the path that you have to take, then you have to do what? Do like my man say, let's just kiss and say goodbye. That's it. That's all you can do. Because I'm telling you, you cannot afford some of the consequences that manipulating you into doing something expediently, what that could cost you. Maybe not right then, but down the line, because they already know. You don't know. You have no idea. Okay. So that's the number one rule. If we got to do this right now, no questions about it. This has to be just back completely out of it. Say, hey, okay, forget that option. Let's try option B. Let's look at doing B. I don't want to do nothing that I'm got to commit myself to right now. I want to have time before I commit myself to something because I need to know what it involves. You got me? And trust and believe me, you're going to run across those kind of situations that you're going to be like thrust into doing something ASAP. So listen, good people, let me tell you, come here to the Philippines, enjoy yourself. Main thing, take your time, okay? 10 toes down, stand on business, don't lose your swag, okay? And remember, the glory hole is the glory hole, but the Philippines is the Philippines, and it far surpasses the glory hole. As a matter of fact, if you got a bad glory hole, you can find a good one in the next 15 minutes. Okay? So don't fret that you about to lose something. You ain't losing nothing. It may be presented to you that the opportunity you gonna lose, but that's an opportunity that really you don't want to partake in. And I'm trying to wrap this up and my birds is just going crazy. I apologize. Listen, good people. One thing for sure and two for certain, excuse my call, and two for certain, is when you help other people from the bottom of your heart, you're truly helping yourself. God bless you guys. Take care. Come here, get your groove on, and do you. Don't do nobody else. Do you. Don't try to follow no other vlogger and what they do, how they do it. Do you. Write your own vlog. Okay? Only thing I'm asking you to take from me or listen to me about is warning signs. And I'm just asking you to listen to them. Keep them in the back of your head. I'm not telling you, hey, when you come here, don't do this, don't do that. I'm saying, hey, if you want to do something on the spare of the moment, if you want to not plan coming here, if you want to commit yourself and not take your time, hey, that's on you. And when you get to receive negative consequences, you can say, hey, well, big man said I really shouldn't have done that. But like my daddy say, hey, if the fire is hot, some people got to stick their finger in it anyway. They got to get burned. But some people, you can tell them that the fire is hot and they won't stick their finger in it and they won't get burned. So if you one of them kind of people that got to get burnt, get burned. Learn the way you learn. Live the way you live. Be you. Do you. You see? But if you're the kind of person that say, hey, I'm not, that fire is hot. I'm gonna get close to it. I'll put my hand close, but I ain't gonna stick my hand in it because I believe that I'll get burned if I stick my hand in there. So this is what you gotta do, good people. All right, take care, man, because these birds is driving me crazy. All right.